My good people, my good people. Hello, world. I'd like to welcome y'all back to the show that's hot with your boy Rob Scott. This is Robs2Cents, baby. What's going on, everybody? Missed y'all, man. I missed y'all. I know y'all been checking me and my boy Mike Hughes out as we been doing the Welcome to Mars podcast, but I always got to spin that block like Ashanti did with Nelly and come back and do Robs2Cents, man. I hope y'all been good. Hope you guys have had a productive weekend. Hope you guys enjoyed the weekend. It's been an action-packed weekend full of sports, and we gonna dive into everything. So I want you guys to get your drink, get whatever you like to chill with, kick your feet back, sit back, relax, and tune in to the hottest sports conversation in the nation. This is Robs2Cents. And I know y'all see the gift, I'm a toxic Bears fan. I have to admit, I'm a toxic Bears fan. We finally got another W, ladies and gentlemen. We beat the Carolina Panthers 16-13 this past Thursday night football. Tyson Bagent once again leading the team to success. He was 20 of 33 on the day for 162 yards. No, he didn't score a touchdown, but he also didn't throw an interception. He didn't throw the ball away. He was able to manage a great game. And it's starting to look scary for Justin Fields now because we can't make that excuse now that he's not getting the correct play calling. We can't make the excuse of him not having the right personnel, that being the offensive line, or we have to run the ball better, or he doesn't have any playmakers on the other side of the ball. We can't make that excuse because Tyson Bagent has came in and he's literally made lemons into lemonade. I mean, the Bears right now, 2 wins under Tyson Bagent. I mean, it's amazing what this kid has been doing. We're talking about an undrafted rookie, a guy that scouts and other, personnel in the NFL looked at this kid and didn't think that, he had enough talent to be in this draft. But you look at what he's been doing. He's been a great manager of the ball. Now, I'm not saying he's been coming out there being Tom Brady like or Pat Mahomes like, but he's been able to manage the game efficiently, making quick reads, quick decisions, has a presence in the pockets, and athletic enough to run the ball when necessary. He also has some help on the day. Dante Foreman playing this former team, 21 carries on the day for 80 yards and 1 touchdown. That's what you look for your running back to complement your quarterback, man. The Bears defense held Carolina's offense to 6 points, not giving up a touchdown. Only their special team scored in the first quarter on the punt return. That's what you ask for your defense. The defense also held the Panthers to only 43 rushing yards as well. I've been telling people that. Yeah, the Chicago Bears their defense are not like the '06 Bears when Urlacher and Briggs and Peanut Tillman, Alex Brown, Tommy Harris. I could keep going on when those guys were just simply the king of the takeaway. Charles Tillman being the pioneer, punching the ball out of people's hands. Urlacher and Briggs controlling everything that's happening on the defense. No, this Bears team is not that, but they're sufficient enough to get the job done. And they are one of the best teams in the league at stopping the run. I mean, as I tell people all the time, you have to watch the game. You have to watch the game to understand what's going on. Now, Justin Fields is going to be making his return this Sunday as the Bears take on the red hot Detroit Lions in the NFC North showdown. And I'm telling you guys right now, when I say red hot Lions, I truly mean it. I think the Lions could possibly be the third best team in the NFC. And we're gonna get into all that as I go into my power rankings. But I think Detroit, they are for real. I always question, can we trust golf? Can we trust him to make the right thing, the right play? And golf has been doing this thing. He has a bunch of playmakers on that side. But like I said, we'll get into all that in a second. But what this brings me to is this question here. When Justin Fields comes back, is he not just playing for a starting position with the Bears? Is this guy playing for his career? Because Justin Fields, looking at what Tyson Bagent has been able to do with, like I said, making lemons, turning lemons and making lemonade out of it. Justin Fields has had the same personnel. Luke Getsy is still calling plays on the offensive side of the ball. Coach Matt Eberflus is still the coach of this team. Justin Fields, we cannot make this excuse for this guy anymore. And I hope Justin Fields is able to show up and show out because I really like Justin Fields. I think he's an athletic quarterback. I've seen what he can do in Ohio State, especially that great game they had in Clemson. But college ain't the pros. And so far, it has not been working out great for Justin Fields. And I hope he's learning from this and learning to stay humble and to stay ready. Tyson Bagent is the perfect example of stay ready. And I've been proud and honored to watch what this kid has been doing. And he might not be the Bears' answer long term, but right now he's been a godsend with the way he's been playing. And if Justin Fields comes back and play horrible, I wouldn't be surprised if Eberflus goes in that route of sitting Fields down for the season and playing Beijing to see what we might have, especially with the Bears possibly having the first two draft picks in the upcoming 2024 draft. So I'm interested to see, especially with the way that kid Marvin Harrison Jr. has been playing for Ohio State. We're talking about a stud playmaker. You know what his father did with the Indianapolis Colts. So it's going to be interesting to see what route the Bears go in, but I'm definitely excited about our future, man. I'm always going to be excited about our future. The way we've been playing is only up from here. Let's go to the comments real quick. What's up, cuz? How you feeling, man? Appreciate you for tuning in. I do think so. I think Justin Fields is going to be playing for his career. I think Tyson Bagent, I'm not saying he's a better quarterback than Justin Fields, but he has definitely been playing way better than Justin Fields has played this season. He just has a certain presence about him that I haven't seen from Justin Fields, especially in the pocket. His pocket awareness, his quick decisions, the way the way he's able to also build up the team around him to rally the troops. This guy is a natural born leader. Cause I do agree with Tyson Bagent is a dog, and I got to give it to him. And I appreciate my other little cuz watching, man, live. Yes, sir. Live in effect, baby. I appreciate you for tuning in. Let's keep this party going, ladies and gentlemen. It is time for my one of my favorite segments, one of your favorite segments. It's time for the Robs2Cents top five teams after week 10 in the NFL. Are you guys ready? Because your boy is ready to get it started. Boom! Let's put it on the screen right here, baby. Let's start at number five, ladies and gentlemen. We have to go with the Cleveland Browns. If you guys were hiding under a rock this past Sunday, the Cleveland Browns defeated the Baltimore Ravens 33-31. Deshaun Watson, my oh my, where have you been? I know people have been making jokes about him and the massage scandal, and people saying that he's not living up to this huge contract that he received. Oh, this past Sunday he lived up and finally just started to play up to that 230 million guaranteed contract, throwing for 213 yards, one touchdown after throwing only one interception. However, that interception was a pick six. But don't worry, he got help on his team because Jerome Ford came in. He ran for 107 yards, and Kareem Hunt added a rushing touchdown as well. Lamar Jackson threw for one touchdown but had two interceptions, including a pick six, and the Ravens completely fell apart in the fourth quarter after being up by 14 going into the fourth. The Browns defense held the NFL's top rushing team to only 106 total rushing yards, and 41 of those yards came from your quarterback and Lamar Jackson. I told you guys that Cleveland Browns, they've always been the runner up, but they finally were able to reach up and grab that mantle and enter into Rob's 2 cents top five teams of the week because the Cleveland Browns defense is for real. Now the question is gonna be, can Deshaun Watson be that Deshaun Watson that we saw in Houston? Can Deshaun Watson be that guy that the Cleveland Browns saw going through a scandal and said, that's the guy. That's our guy. We're going to give him not only one of the biggest contracts in history, we're going to make it all guaranteed. Give him $230 million. Deshaun Watson, you better play because you got the defense for him, my friend. At number four, I got to go with the San Francisco 49ers. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, the 49ers are back. And let me tell you guys something. They had a statement victory against the Jacksonville Jaguars, winning 34-3. Nobody saw this coming. Remember, Jacksonville was on a 5-game winning streak before they went into their bye week. Man, we're talking about a defense who's not only not been playing well in the last few games, but now they came back and shut down an offense who was on a roll. Remember, Washington Commanders just gave up Sweat, who we so happen to pick up as a Chicago Bears fans, but that their defensive end and Chase Young, he was welcomed by the San Francisco 49ers, reuniting with his old college buddy and Nick Bosa. And now you're putting a Chase Young on an already stacked defense. That defense showed up and came to play, only holding Jacksonville to 3 points. They did not score one touchdown. Fred Warner, Nick Bosa, Green Lau, and now add in a Chase Young. Boy, I'm telling you, boy, that defense is looking scary. Even scarier is that offensive side of the ball because they also welcome back Debo Samuels. And even though Debo didn't have a big game, he still took some of that load off Christian McCaffrey with the rushing touchdown. We know Debo's mere presence on the field is going to cause problem for a lot of people because he's like a utility knife. Whatever you need, Debo, like Debo and Taysom Hill from the New Orleans Saints, those are two of my favorite players in the NFL because they got literally utility knives. Debo comes in and say, "What do you need from me today, coach? I need you to rush the ball. He can do that. I need you to play in the slot. He can do that. I need you to be my number one receiver. Debo can do that. Whatever you need Debo to do, Debo will do." Now, unfortunately for the 49ers, this ended Christian McCaffrey 17 game touchdown streak that he was currently on, but he still had 95 yards in the game. And Brock, my game so purdy, got back on track, throwing for 296 yards, 3 touchdowns, and no interceptions. You want to talk about a scary team in the league, you got to talk about the 49ers because when they are healthy and when everybody is there, and the team is complete. This has got to be one of the best teams I've seen in NFL history, just with the amount of playmakers that they have on this team. Also, George Kittle, their tight end, only had 3 receptions, but he had 116 yards on the day for a touchdown. And even my boy Brandon Ayuk finally got into the end zone as well. The 49ers will be playing the Tampa Bay Buccaneers this Sunday, and I think that should be a blowout. And the reason I say Brandon Ayuk finally got into the end zone is because I've been betting on this man on my fan duel, and I love Brandon Ayuk, but he has not been able to scratch that touchdown surface. Finally, that man got into the end zone. Coming in at number 3, I have to go with the Detroit Lions. I can't believe I'm saying that, but ladies and gentlemen, the Detroit Lions are for real. That defense has been good. The only thing I question about that defense is can they get enough quarter pressure on the quarterback. But other than that, the Detroit Lions have been doing their thing. They've been rocking and rolling. They defeated the Los Angeles Chargers in a shootout, 41-38. Jared Goff had an amazing game where he was 23 of 33 on the day for 333 yards, 2 tutties, no interception. Jamar Gibbs had 14 carries for 77 yards, 2 touchdowns. David Montgomery, the former Bear, 12 carries, 116 yards, 1 touchdown. On Monra St. Brown, 8 receptions for 156 yards and 1 touchdown. They are 7-2 on this year, and this has been the best season since 1953 when they ended the season 10-2. Like San Francisco, the Detroit Lions is a team that has a lot of playmakers on this team. Amon-Ra St. Brown, Jameer Gibbs, David Montgomery, Reynolds. They got some playmakers on this team. And Jared Goff has been very careful with the ball. He's been accurate with the ball. And he has been a godsend for this team, not to mention the fact that they got my boy, Coach Dan Campbell, who I feel is a leader amongst men and who has rallied this Detroit team to the point where they will run through a brick wall for this guy. They're going to be playing the Bears, as I mentioned earlier in the show, this Sunday, and that should be a blowout for real. At Number 2, I got to go with the Kansas City Chiefs, y'all. I gotta go with the Chiefs. The Chiefs this year, their offense has been a little questionable just because there's no other receiver other than Travis Kelce who has stepped up to really make a name for themselves. But that defense, man, the Kansas City Chiefs, I can't believe I'm saying this. They have been relying on their defense, and their defense has been coming through. Now, granted, they were on a bye week this week, but let's not forget about their last victory against a red hot Miami's Dolphins team, winning 21-14, a game in which they shut out Miami in the fourth quarter, didn't allow them to score a single point in the fourth quarter. Mahomes didn't have a Mahomes type of game. He threw for 2 touchdowns and no interceptions, but he looked more like a game manager that game. We know Mahomes is definitely not just a game manager. Mahomes is a dog, and they call him Baby Goat. And shout out to my boy Greg, who has a podcast, Red Kingdom, dedicated to the Kansas City Chiefs. I had to agree with him. If Mahomes wins the Super Bowl this year, he has to go down as the GOAT because literally it's him, Travis Kelce, the defense, and everybody else. Like there's nobody else on the offense. You would think with Valdez Scantling there, he's a veteran. He played with Aaron Rodgers, that he would know how to play with a guy like Mahomes. You got Sky Moore, you got Tony there. Like nobody has stepped up to take the load off Travis Kelce and being the number one guy, but yet they keep rocking and rolling. The Chiefs, man, still a scary team in the NFL, and they're going to be going against who I think is the best team in the league, in the Philadelphia Eagles, which brings me to my number 1. Fly Eagles, fly. The Philadelphia Eagles have been on a roll this year. They don't look like they're slowing down. They've been winning all of the ugly games. That's what you want out of your team. Every game is not going to be a blowout. Every game won't be a pretty offensive game or a pretty defensive game. Sometimes you're going to have some muggy games where it's going to come down to who gets the 50-50 ball, who does not make the mistake in crucial time. That's what the Eagles have been doing. Now, they were also on the bye week as well, but let's not forget they made a statement in the NFC East, beating the Dallas Cowboys 28-23 to show them boys that they are for real and that the Cowboys might as well fold their chairs up, get back in the car, and head back home because there ain't going to be no trip to the Super Bowl for them this year. Jalen Hurts threw for 2 touchdowns and had 1 rushing touchdown with no interceptions in that game versus the Cowboys. And as I mentioned, they will be facing the Kansas City Chiefs on a Monday Night Football game. That's going to be prime time. I'm excited to see that game. I can't wait to watch that game. And that's going to be a tall tale sign of who is the best team in the league. That is Rob's top 5 teams in the NFL after week 10, in case you missed it. At number 1, the Eagles, who I have as the best team in the league. Number 2, the Kansas City Chiefs. At number 3, the Detroit Lions. Number 4, the San Francisco 49ers. And at number 5, the Cleveland Browns, who have the best defense in the league today. And ladies and gentlemen, I know you guys haven't seen this segment in a while, but I got to bring it back. We got to talk about the goofball of the week. Who is Robs2Cents goofball of the week? Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to talk about it. We have to look at the game that the Washington University just played against Utah. It was a great game. Of course, Michael Penix Jr. came out, did his thing once again, but the attention wasn't on him. The attention was on a particular linebacker by the name of Alfonso Tuputala or Tuputala. Excuse me if I mispronounced the name wrong, but this guy made a miraculous interception and thought it was a pick 6, but then he did this. Ladies and gentlemen, you be the judge.
Barnes throwing, intercepted. Tuputala down the sideline. He is gone. Oh, he dropped the ball right at the goal line. I believe the ball's loose. I believe, let's see, Mokufisi is on it. I don't think he got into the end zone. Let's see. Nope.
He did not.
This should be Utah football, I believe. And there's a clear recovery by Mokafisi. Oh, my goodness.
Oh, he drops this well early, Jason.
Oh, my goodness gracious.
Yep. Look at his face. I mean, he drops this well early. This isn't close.
Ruling on the field is a fumble and a recovery by the defense. First down, Utah.
Clearly he meant offense. This is Utah football. And yeah,
not close.
That's
Previous
outrageous.
On the replay review.
One of the wildest plays this late in a college football season with the stakes right in front of us you will ever see. And Mokafisi, with everybody celebrating, has the presence of mind to collect the football.
When you've never been in this spot before. And Alfonso has not been in this spot, Dean. This isn't even close, right?
After review,
it's obvious.
Ball was fumbled the 1 yard line, recovered by the defense. First down, Utah.
Not close. And when we look at these plays, every time I watch a play like this, when a guy has a clear path to the end zone, I say, get the ball in the end zone, get the ball in the end zone, waiting for this moment. Unfortunately, he drops the ball clearly short.
I'm sorry, Alfonso Tupatala, you made it a great defensive play, and you almost took it back to the house. But how do you not hold on to the ball until you completely cross the end zone? I'm one of those people. If I'm playing football, I'm not dropping nothing until I see the ref's hands go up and I look down and see that I'm standing in that end zone, and then I'll celebrate. You celebrated too early, brother. Now you cost your team a pick six. Luckily for them, Washington is a great team. Basically, you now got Utah backed up against the goal line, and they were able to get the safety the very next play. But man, you cannot do mistakes like that, man. Things like that can cost you a championship. Things like that can cost you an NFL career. You have to have field awareness. You have to know where you're at on the field at all times. And I know you will bounce back for this. And like I said, that was a great defensive play. You just didn't see it through, my boy. And that's why Alfonso Tupatala of the Washington Huskies, you are my goofball of the week. But it's all love, brother. Ain't got nothing but love for you, and I hope you continue to flourish. Now that we're talking about a little college football, I want to still give you guys my top three players in the ranking for the Heisman, and they haven't changed since last week. At number three, I have to go with Marvin Harrison Jr. This kid has been playing out of his mind this season. As I said, shout out to him because the Heisman Trophy has really turned into a quarterback trophy. And for him to be a receiver who's dependent upon somebody to get him the ball, he has been making the most of his opportunities. Let's look at what he did this past weekend. Him and the number three ranked Ohio State Buckeyes defeated Michigan State Spartans 38-3. Marvin Harrison Jr. had a huge game with 7 receptions for 149 yards and 2 touchdowns on the day, and even rushed a touchdown in on the day as well. For the year, he is now at 59 receptions for over 1,000 yards and 12 touchdowns. Also, Ohio State is one of the 5 unbeaten teams in the Power 5 college ranking. I mean, it's tough to beat Ohio State right now. People are already calling it's going to be them and Michigan in the Big Ten championship game. I would definitely be excited to see that matchup. Michigan is tough. I know they're going through some issues with Coach Harbaugh and, them being accused of having scouts go out and steal sign calling and things like that. But Michigan is still tough. They won the game with Coach Harbaugh on the sideline, and he's waiting on his appeal to go through. But Marvin Harrison Jr. is an absolute stud. And I'm telling you, any team in the NFL will be lucky to have this guy. At number 2, I got to go with Michael Penix Jr., man. This guy is amazing. Michael Penix and the 5th-ranked Washington Huskies, as you saw, defeated the 16th-ranked Utah, winning 35-28. Michael Penix Jr. on the day, 24-42 for 332 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. and even had a rushing touchdown on the day. Washington, like Ohio State, remains one of the five undefeated team in the Power Five rankings. And for the year now, he's at 3,533 yards, 28 touchdowns, and 7 interceptions. But at number one, I got to go with my boy, Bo Nix with the Oregon Ducks. Oregon right now is ranked number 6, and they defeated the USC Trojans 36-27. Bo Nix, everybody just been beating up on USC lately. First, Washington did last week, and then Bo Nix and Oregon did it this weekend. And Caleb Williams' draft has surely dropped. I don't believe he'll be going number 1 in this NFL draft. But Bo Nix on the day, man. The fifth-year senior was 23 of 31, 4 touchdowns on the day. Had an absolute great day. Another game with no interceptions. For the year now, he's now at 3,135 yards, 29 touchdowns, and only 2 interceptions. Bo Nix is for real. Only 2 interceptions on the year. This guy's a stud, man. And I think Bo Nix has really marked his claim as the top candidate to win the Heisman Trophy this year. All 3 guys have been playing amazing, and we also had some big performances over the weekend all across the spectrum. That's why it's time for your segment and my favorite segment. We got to present the Robs2Cents That Boy Cole Award, and it was tough picking a candidate for that Boy Cole Award this segment. You had Tyrese Maxey, who scored a career high 50 points, doing his thing, just rocking and rolling. Who I forgot who they play. They play not Indy. I'm sorry. They play Indiana. I'm sorry. Yeah, they play Indiana. They play Indiana again tonight. But to score 50 points, and especially Indiana, has been tough this year, man. Tyrese Halliburton, I believe, is leading the league in assists. Indiana has been tough. So for the Philly to go in there and do that, and especially with Tyrese Maxey to have this type of game was amazing. I could have went with Jaden Daniels, who led his LSU football squad to a dominating victory over the Florida Gators, winning 52-35. A game in which Daniels passed for 372 yards, threw for 3 touchdowns and 0 interceptions, and then he rushed for 234 yards and ran for an additional 2 touchdowns. But if we're doing the math, he only accounted for 30 points of LSU's 52 points. No, I have to go with this guy right here. I have to go with Dylan Gabriel. Let me tell you about the historic day this guy had on Saturday. Dylan Gabriel led his 14th ranked Oklahoma Sooners, I said city, sorry, y'all. Oklahoma Sooners to a dominating victory over West Virginia, winning 59-20. Dylan Gabriel was 23 of 36, throwing for over 400 yards and 5 touchdowns, but he wasn't done on the day. He also had 50 rushing yards and added 3 additional rushing touchdowns. He accounted for 48 of Oklahoma's 59 points. No other QB in Sooners history has accounted for 8 total touchdowns. The most ever accounted for was 7 touchdowns, and that was done by one Baker Mayfield and one Kyler Murray. Now Dylan Gabriel has etched his name in Oklahoma Sooners history books by being the only quarterback to account for 8 touchdowns on the field. That's why Dylan Gabriel, that boy Cole. And it was hard not to give him a shout out for that performance. But I mentioned what Tyrese Maxey did, and I don't think you guys get the grip of actually what he did as we transition into a little NBA talk. Tyrese Maxey acted a damn fool on the Indiana Pacers. Look at these numbers: 50 points, 7 rebounds, 20 or 32 from the field. Talk about efficient. Talk about getting the job done. That's what Tyrese Maxey did. And if you guys don't know, Philly right now has the title are not just the best team in the Eastern Conference. Philadelphia right now has the title of being the best team in the league. Now, that's just for right now. And I know we've only played 10 games, but right now, the Philadelphia 76ers, they are 8-1, leading a half a game over Boston right now. Denver Nuggets is 8-2, so they're also a half a game above Denver as well. And I'm telling you guys right now, the way Joel Embiid has been playing, the way Tyrese Maxey has been playing, it looks like they are happy that James Harden is left. The way that he used to dribble, slow up the ball, is now allowed Tyrese Maxey to come out of his shell. And Tyrese Maxey, the way he's been playing, he will accomplish his dream of being an all-star. And Philadelphia is going to be a tough team to see later on down the road, especially if they start to get healthy. We want to send our thoughts and prayers with Kelly Oubre. He was a victim of a hit and run. I think he was leaving his house, heading to his car. A car came by, speeding down the block, hit him. I think he suffered some broken ribs and things like that. And the doctors are saying that he's gonna miss some significant time. But luckily, he's in stable condition. Hopefully, he gets to start his rehab soon and he's able to come back to the career that he loves. So Kelly Oubre, Robs2Cents, and all of the Rob heads out here. That's my new name for all my people. All the Rob heads out here, man. We wish you nothing but a speedy recovery, and our thoughts and prayers are with you, brother. Glad that you made it out of that situation safely. But Philadelphia has to be happy that they got rid of that cancer known as James Harden. And because right now you look at what the Clippers are going through, they on four since they got James Harden in that trade. It just doesn't look right. I don't even have to yell numbers out to you guys. Let's talk about it real quick. Russell Westbrook was flourishing at first. With the Los Angeles Clippers, he had some great games last season. Was great in the playoffs for them. Even though Kawhi and Paul George went down, the way that he was able to go at Kevin Durant and the Phoenix Suns, Russell Westbrook almost looked like he was going to single-handedly go through the Suns himself, after everybody said he was done, after everybody said he was finished with how he looked with the Lakers, he was able to still stay in LA and turn things around for the Clippers. So a lot of people were excited to see how this Clipper situation was going to work. And they started off great. They looked excellent. The ball was moving around. Paul George and Kawhi Leonard were clearly your established stars on his team. Zubac was flourishing with Russell Westbrook. The tempo had picked up. And even Russell Westbrook was shooting excellent from the field. I believe he's at 30% from the three-point line. I mean, everything was going great. I don't know why the front office decided to bring in James Harden. Now, don't get me wrong, ladies and gentlemen. I got love for the bearded one. I know what James Harden used to be, and the just an automatic bucket. Led the league in assists at one point. Has been an NBA league scorer at one point. Has even been an NBA league MVP. I know who James Harden was, but let me tell you who James Harden is. He's a guy who doesn't like it tough. He doesn't like the tough journey. He likes to take the easy route out. He likes to force his way out of teams when things are not going his way. This man got on national TV after leaving the Sixers. The last time we saw you play, you scored 9 points in a game 7 versus Boston. A series in which you only had one game in which you got off. And then after that, you looked like you were timid and afraid to shoot the ball. You had open shots at the rim that you wouldn't take. That was what we saw of you last time. And then for you to get on national TV and tell these reporters that you're not worried about a system because you are the system, how arrogant are you? How lost in the sauce are you? Because there is no way that you thought that you are a system. Now I'm surprised Coach Tyrone Lue has allowed this to go on for so long. Because if I'm him, James Harden has to come off the bench. I'm just keeping it real. I had a nice flow with my starting unit. I had to let go of some key pieces, losing a guy like Nicholas Batum, losing a guy like the Morris twins, losing a guy like Robert Covington. Robert Covington has already went to the Philadelphia 76ers and already has produced 7 steals, tied behind Melton for the top steals for the 76ers. That's what you let go. You let go of defensive guys, 3-and-D guys who get the job done, to go after somebody who's still living off accolades from when he was with Houston. Hell, if Stephen A. Smith is correct in what he said, which I don't doubt the man at all, because Stephen A. is great at what he do, somebody who I mold myself to be like and to surpass one day. Stephen A. Smith said that the Houston Rockets thought about picking a man up, but when James Harden came and said, well, I want to get back to who I was, and they said no. We're talking about a team full of young guys. And my, oh my, how Houston has been. I know they're glad they didn't make that mistake. How great Houston has been this year, this young team. Just beat the Lakers. Oh, no, they lost to the Lakers without LeBron. But this team has been beating some great people. Young squad, ready to get it done. And they didn't want James Harden. So now you bring James Harden to a team full of veterans, team full of winners. Well, at least one winner in Kawhi Leonard. Paul George has seen some success in the playoffs. Russell Westbrook has seen success in the playoffs, even making the NBA Finals, has been a former league MVP. Kawhi Leonard, 2-time Finals MVP. You bring James Harden to that to be a cancer and disrupt this thing. I don't like it. And I feel sorry for the Los Angeles Clippers. And I know they're going to be looking for answers soon, but I'm telling you guys right now, I don't care how much money James Harden is making. That man needs to come off the bench. Let me go to the comments real quick. Got somebody that just chimed in. Hey, what's going on, Elvis, man? I appreciate the love, man. Thanks for tuning in, brother. Hey, and then we got to get to my last topic of the day, man. I got to talk about my boy Anthony Edwards, man, and what he's been doing. He's been on the tear this year, averaging 28 points this season, and has led the Timberwolves. The Minnesota Timberwolves are 7-2. I don't think the Minnesota Timberwolves has looked this good since KG. I mean, Anthony. Now you guys have been calling this man Baby Jordan. And I've been feeling like it's been a little disrespectful. And I still wouldn't call him Baby Jordan, but I can definitely see Anthony Edwards has the stuff that a Michael Jordan and a Kobe Bryant had. He got that killer in him. Take a look at this play. My boy Ant, man, is a dog.
He's upset about it and late getting back defensively. Alexander Walker over to Reed. Finding Edwards. Driving. Oh, get out the way! Technical foul is called, and guess what? It was worth it.
Yeah, that's totally worth it. I want to see it again, though. Did he yell at Draymond? I mean, he said something to somebody. That is nasty. Ooh, cocked that back. Put Dario Saric in his poster. That is elevation, Holmes.
That was nasty. You want to talk about making sure nobody ever jump at your dunk again. That's how you deliver the hammer. And Anthony Edwards, man, has been leading this team the right way. They are now on a 6-game winning streak, including victories over the Pelicans, over the Spurs, over the Celtics, and over the Warriors. They are ranked number 1 in opponents' points per game. The Ant-Man is leading the charge. We're talking about now a team that can score on you and not allow you to score. We're finally starting to see the Twin Towers that we hope Karl Anthony Towns and Rudy Gobert could be. And I believe Anthony Edwards has understood his role, saying that I have to be the closer for this team. I have to, keep my team in it, man. Ant-Man, I think, is about to have a great year. I said it when he led our team in the FIBA games, even though we lost. Anthony Edwards is going to get that confidence that we see most superstars get when they, get a chance to lead their team in international play. Anthony Edwards, man, Ant-Man is a dog. Now, I'm not, like I said, I'm not going to go as far as to call him Baby Jordan. It's a lot he has to prove before you even get the benefit of hearing Baby Jordan come out of my lips. But what I will say is he got that dog in him. He got the sauce. He got the secret stuff that was in the water bottle in Space Jam, that Jordan provided to the Looney Tunes. He has drank some of that secret stuff. And Anthony Edwards, man, I'm excited to see what his career turns into and how many accolades this guy's going to achieve throughout his NBA career. And speaking of continuing on the subject of the NBA, I just got to talk about the in-season tournament. I think this tournament has been great. We've seen some great games within this tournament. Going to see some great games tonight, actually, as we speak. Got Indiana going against the 76ers, the Hawks going against the Pistons, the Heat versus the Hornets, Spurs versus Thunder, Magic versus the Nets, the Mavericks versus the Pelicans, Trailblazers versus the Jazz, Timberwolves versus the Warriors without Steph Curry tonight, Clippers versus Nuggets, and Grizzlies versus Lakers. It's going to be some great slate of games right now. Right now, Philly is leading in their group, in Group A in the East. The Heat are leading in there. Well, I wouldn't even say leading. 76ers are tied with the Pacers in Group A. The Heat are tied with the Hornets and the Bucks in Group B at 1-0. The Celtics are leading in their group in Group C because the Nets are 1-1. If you look on the West, the Jazz, the Lakers, and Trailblazers are in a three-way tie, 1-1. In Group B, the Rockets and the Nuggets are in a two-way tie at 1-0. And then in Group C in the West, the Timberwolves, the Kings, and the Warriors, all three are at 1-0. I can't wait to see how this tournament is going to play out. Honestly, I was skeptical of the tournament at first, but like I've said, the way that these guys have been playing in the tournament, it's been kind of giving you a playoff feel. Not full playoff atmosphere, but it's definitely been better than the mundane games we used to see back in the day on a random Wednesday night and during the 82 game season of an NBA. You can definitely tell these guys want that extra money. I think they want bragging rights of being the first team to win the NBA Cup. And you know what? Hey, whatever you got to do to make these guys, show up and show out, that's what you have to do. And for the Friday's top leaders, which was the last time, as I mentioned before in other shows, the NBA in-season tournament games will be played on Tuesdays and Fridays. Friday scoring leaders included Luka Doncic at 44 points. Kevin Durant had 38. Desmond Bain at 37. Joel Embiid at 33. And Shai Gilgeous-Alexander also tuned in with 33. And so far, the top five performers have been Jaylen Brown, Luka Doncic, Donovan Mitchell, Kevin Durant, and Desmond Bain. These guys have been getting buckets and putting on an absolute show for us. I can't wait to see how this tournament plays out. I'm still predicting the Celtics to win the tournament. I just think they have the scariest team in the league right now with their big three in Porzingis, Tatum, and Brown. I just, especially too with the Nuggets not having Murray, he's going to be out for a significant amount of time, dealing with a hamstring injury, which is good for the Nuggets. Rather he goes through this now than go through it later. So there's a lot of storylines going on. The Milwaukee Bucks, to me, kind of have been a disappointment this year. I know it's still early in the year, but it just seemed like Dame and Giannis can't click together. Like they can't get on the right page together. I know Dame is going through some personal issues and his personal life issues I'd rather not touch on. And we don't even know if he's going through some injury problems as well. Last night I believe Giannis carried them. He's been carrying them for a while, so hopefully Dame can get his head into the game, man, and step up. Because if they have any hope of winning the championship, if they have any championship aspirations, they're definitely gonna need Dame Dollar to step up. And that's been my show, ladies and gentlemen, man. I appreciate you guys for tuning in. Everybody who's popped in and out, man. I appreciate the love and support. Make sure you guys like, share, and subscribe. If you're watching on YouTube, if you're on my Facebook page, make sure you follow the Robs2Cents Facebook page. Also, show some love to me and Mike's page. Welcome to Mars. That episode will be airing tomorrow. Hey, we just getting started, baby. We putting in that work, man. Hey, you better show your boy love now, because when your boy get up, don't get mad if I get a little booze, which now I'm just playing. I'm always gonna be the same Rob, whether I'm a millionaire, billionaire, or a thousandaire. I'm always gonna be this Rob, man. And I gotta get to y'all my video of the week. As you guys know, I like to end every segment with a video of the week. And I came across this video, man. It was very touching to me. Something I really didn't experience growing up. My mom's not really big into sports. I love her though. She supports me in everything I do. Don't get the wrong message. But she's not big into sports. And unfortunately, I lost my father at an early age. So this video was very touching to me. To see parents out there participating in football drills with their kids, seeing the memories that they were building, man. So I decided to bring a little joy to y'all lives as well. Check this out.
Yes, sir! Yes, yeah, let's keep coming down. Kyrie! Run, Kyrie! Oh, no!
You don't get no more chances, bro.
Uh-oh.
Move, Alex. Move. Yeah, wait on it. There you go.
Get him going in. Come on, Jack Tram!
Hey, you gotta love it, man. You gotta love it. Create memories out there with their kids, man. I know their kids appreciate that. Hey, you better clean your room because you don't want to see your parents out there on the field doing hitting drills. And shout out to the women. Not saying that the fathers weren't present in their lives. Dad could have been at work. Dad could have been doing anything. But shout out to the women that stepped in for fathers that were not present, at least during that interaction, and still providing their kids with a memory of having mom out there, being a part of the journey, man. It's definitely gonna be something they don't forget, and it's something that's touched me in a special way, man. I can't wait to, the good Lord blesses your boy with some youngins. So, until then, baby, I'm gonna be working. Cause I know once they get here, they're gonna get all the damn attention. Lord Jesus. And that's been my show, ladies and gentlemen, man. As always, I appreciate the love and support, man. Like I said, make sure you guys tune in tomorrow with for the Mike and Rob show as we welcome you guys to Mars. You know how we do it. But until then, man, stay productive, stay positive, hey, and keep fighting through adversity, man, because sooner or later the sun gotta come out after the storm, man. That's not just a message to y'all, that's a message to myself. I got nothing but love for y'all, man. Hope y'all keep doing y'all thing. And you already know the slogan, baby. We gone. There's a bigger fight going on. There's a much bigger agenda than the streets. And I know sometimes it's hard to see that far in front of us. But we have to look past the illusions, look past the delusions of grandeur, and look at the bigger picture. We need to become better versions of ourselves each and every day. Fight for what you believe in. Because if you stand for nothing, you'll fall for anything. We just getting started, baby. You guys know the slogan now. Hope you all have a great evening. And we gone.